I am not a liar. I am tired of my family, my husband, my son being harassed, all because I believe a certain individual on this board was railroaded. He was railroaded by certain individuals on this board. And any time any one of you want to come over to my home, I have police reports, I have every fact and piece of evidence to back up what I'm saying, including Mr. Sliwinski and a woman named Linda trying to talk Mr. Humpher's wife into recanting her grand jury testimony and going after my son. Now, many, many people don't have a clue of what has been going on, because unlike other people who have disgraced this village in their witch hunt, we choose to try and keep some sort of decency by not airing what's going on in the public. Sunday morning, my husband went out to get the newspaper, and in the bushes of my home was a flyer. It was the flyer that everybody received: act now, remove Paul, this and that. On the bottom was a message written: you don't support illegals, yet you support a criminal. Grow up, get an education, you low-class lady, crossed out white trash bitch. Now, the phone number on this flyer matches the phone number to Mr. Fernando Levy. And that came out of a police report. His phone number was on a police report. Ladies and gentlemen, no one has an idea of what's been happening. And you betcha I will stick up for Mr. Humpher, because I've known him for 3 years. I've been in that house for 3 years, and I have seen the abuse for 3 years. Has it been on Mr. Humpher's part? No. I have seen what this woman has done to my home and my family, and then came up in my bedroom at night and insisted I didn't tell her husband. Nobody knows these facts. Nobody. But Mr. Sliwinski and a woman named Linda tried talking his wife into recanting and going after my son for rape. My son has been hounded at his job. I almost lost my 28-year daycare license because they have interfered with my livelihood. My son had to leave our home. And like I said, anytime I have every fact and piece of paper and police report to back this up, because I am not a liar. I want to go on record stating that I asked Mr. Anderson of all the billable hours that our attorney has spent on this crusade to get rid of Paul. And not just recently, but from 3 years ago, when President Sarto was elected, and he pledged unity, and the first thing he did when he took his seat was ask Paul to resign. So far, we are at $6,000 of your taxpayers' money on a personal witch hunt. And Manager Anderson said it would likely go higher because there are many calls from Sarto to Rhodes, Rhodes to Sarto with no explanation. I have also requested the billable hours for our police department and what they have spent on this, and the time wasted on a personal witch hunt from our president and taking them off the streets from protecting you residents. I know of one officer that says he spent 8 hours alone. I asked for copies of the letter to the Attorney General and to the state's attorney, because no one on this board was privy or had any knowledge of what President Sarto was doing. No one on this board voted to allow him to expend money on his personal vendetta. Your money. Now, I know there was a trustee on this board, Trustee Sliwinski, calling women, appealing to their senses as a battered woman. Ladies and gentlemen, I too was a battered woman. My first marriage lasted 5.5 years, and in that 5.5 years, I was physically, mentally, emotionally, and sexually abused, to the point where I left that domicile with the clothes on my back, the clothes on my son's back, my 9-month-old son, and a diaper bag. And I never went back. But do I believe that every individual that is convicted of a crime, do I believe they are guilty? No. How many people have been put to death that were innocent? How many people are behind bars that are innocent and are getting released on a daily basis because we have the technology now we didn't have before? I know in my heart of hearts that Trustee Humpher is innocent. I have seen him with his children, I have seen him with his family, and I have seen his wife. And if it's sticking up for a fellow trustee, a friend, makes me a bad person, then so be it. But I am here to defend the people of this village, stop his personal witch hunt, stop him spending taxpayers' dollars, your money, on this. And one other thing I would like to say, we received our attorney's opinion. And because in light of everything going on, and knowing what's been going on up here on this board, I had a conversation with Manager Anderson. I was very truthful to him. I said, I don't trust any of you anymore. None of you. Because all of you could have stepped up to the plate and done the right thing, and you haven't been doing it. So I sought out another attorney. No expense to the taxpayers. This attorney helped me for nothing because he's been watching what's been going on down here. The attorney gave me his opinion, which I disseminated to the board. The attorney drew up a resolution to stop Sarto from expending any more village money, postage, the name, and I disseminated that to the board. We received Attorney Rhodes' opinion. And in my opinion, we received a 5-page document that was mostly, in my opinion, lawyer babble. In the last paragraph, it puts it all back in our lap for us to make the decision. Now, the attorney I went to was Attorney Flood, who was his firm is a well-known municipal lawyers firm. They represent many, many villages. Attorney Flood was on the committee for the Illinois Municipal League last year. His job was to rewrite that portion of Illinois state statute on removal of an elected official from office. He was also on the committee that had to draft up the amendment to change that. It passed. In his opinion, a misdemeanor is not an infamous crime. And in his opinion, Paul Humpher hasn't even been sentenced yet or convicted. I will be there for Paul when he appeals. My son will be there for Paul when he appeals, because he was raised that if you do something wrong, you make it right. And I give my son a lot of credit for standing on his own 2 feet and making a wrong right. Now, I suggest if you want this to stop, then you expend all your energies to get that man and Linda Sliwinski to stop. You want to know any more or see any of the facts, call me. My number's in the book. Have a happy Easter, everybody. Thank you.